Hello everyone, Elite Cameraman here. Episode 57 is finally out and it was crazy. We finally got to see the two Titans fight and we have a ton of things to talk about. Is the Plunger Cameraman dead after what happened? Did Plunger Cameraman's Plunger have a cure to fix the infected Titan Speakerman? How powerful is G-Man's Skibidi toilet now? Did you catch where the secret agent was? I'll cover all these secrets and Easter eggs in episode 57 that you might have missed or didn't notice. Watch the video until the end so that you don't miss anything interesting. Also, make sure to like and subscribe because there'll be part 2 of episode 57 soon, and I'll also cover the secrets of that when it comes out. Anyways, here we go. We start the episode seeing 3 cameramen hiding on the rooftop of a building in the ruined city. This frame was actually leaked before the episode came out. So, if you want to know about the leaks before the episodes come out, make sure to subscribe, because I share them in my community posts. Anyways, we can clearly see that it's not going too well for the cameraman from the expression of the cameraman on the left. He looks very sad. This is most likely caused by the return of the Titan Speakerman and his rampage. Seconds later, we see the infected Titan Speakerman still going crazy and killing everyone, including a large Speakerman and some cameramen. After we see a large cameraman on a stun gun tank trying to stun the infected Titan Speakerman, but it doesn't end really well for the cameraman. We learn that the stun guns don't work against the Titans because they are most likely too powerful to be affected by it. But the real action starts after this point. We finally get to see the two Titans fight. We see the Titan Speakerman getting ready to fire at the coming Titan Cameraman, but before that Titan Cameraman waves his finger saying no. But there are a couple of things in this scene that you might have missed. First of all, we see the secret agent on top of the building next to the Titan Cameraman, and he is just standing there watching like nothing crazy is happening. But before we get to that, let's talk about Titan Cameraman's core. Right after he arrives on the scene, his armor starts covering up his core. Even though, as we know from episode 50 and episode 51, his core is one of his most powerful weapons. He covers it with heavy armor when he is against the Titan Speakerman. This could only mean that it's his weak spot and he might die or get hurt a lot if it's damaged. I can't think of any other reason for this, and we also see him enabling his machine guns on his shoulders at the exact same second. Even though we didn't see them in use in this episode, we'll most likely see them getting used the next part of episode 57. Before we get to the fight, let's talk about the secret agent, because some of the theories I mentioned about his powers were most likely confirmed in this episode. We see him standing on the roof with a weird green glow behind him. I'm mentioning the glow because it's not there rest of the video, nor is he. We can clearly see at the beginning of the video that he is not there, and there isn't a green glow. This is also the case after the Titan starts fighting. What was this green glow behind him? Is he hiding a device? Is it how he teleports? We can confirm that he teleports 100% after this episode. I think he might start actually joining the battle soon, and big stuff are gonna happen. Anyways, right after the Titan Cameraman waves his fingers, the Titan Speakerman is seen still charging his weapons, but when he shoots it, we can't see the projectiles. This is most likely because of some technical difficulties and wasn't supposed to be like this. So I'm going to assume that there are particles. We see the Titan Speakerman shooting his blazer a couple of times at Titan Cameraman, causing explosions, but the Titan Cameraman is using a metal plate as a shield and protecting himself against it, trying to get close to the Titan Speakerman because he knows that he'll overpower him if he starts fighting hand to hand. And we see him punch him insanely hard the second he gets close to him. The Titan Speakerman does the smart thing and flies away to shoot him from far away, but Titan Cameraman uses the magnet hand he used in episode 50 and pulls the Titan Speakerman to himself, dunking him onto the goddamn building. Sheesh! That was crazy, but the Titan Speakerman gets up really fast trying to defend himself with his speakers, and this pushes back the Titan Cameraman a little, but he doesn't back down and kicks the Titan Speakerman onto the ground again. At this point, it's clear that the Titan Cameraman is clearly overpowering the Titan Speakerman and winning the battle. The power difference between these two is too much, but the battle takes a turn after this point with the comeback of the newly upgraded G-Man Skibidi toilet. The G-Man Skibidi toilet comes back crazier than before. As you know, in episode 47, Cinema Man destroyed his laser eyes, and ever since that point, he can't use his laser eyes. This was also confirmed at the beginning of episode 49 because he came wearing the same yellow glasses he is right now in episode 57. Him losing his laser eyes meant that he would have half the firepower he had. But now we can see that he has total of 6 laser guns, and he also has earphones, which is most likely to protect him against the Titan Speakermen's speaker attacks because they'll be fighting together. We see the G-Man using his lasers on the Titan Cameraman, and this actually might have hurt him because he turns back and rushes to jump onto the G-Man's Skibidi toilet to stop him. They crash onto the ground seconds later, and we don't know what happens to them, but we'll get to see it in the next episode. My guess is that the Titan Cameraman might have been damaged after all those lasers because he didn't have any extra protection. But this is not even the saddest part of this episode. What comes next broke my heart. We see the Titan Speakerman charging his blasters, and the camera zooms into the building behind him, and we see the Plunger Cameraman coming out of it, flying onto the Titan Speakerman's neck, most likely to get rid of the parasite. We do get to hear a weird sound, implying that something happened, but we can still clearly see that he is infected. And he grabs the Plunger Cameraman. As a last resort, Plunger Cameraman throws his plunger to him, getting the Titan Speakerman really mad, causing him to crush Plunger Cameraman's legs and throwing him to the ground, which makes us see the Plunger Cameraman burning without his lower body. Is he actually dead, or is he still alive? I'll get to that at the end of the video right after I talk about the fact that the plunger might have some tech. Why would he just throw his plunger at the Titan Speakerman? It doesn't make sense unless it had something that's anti-parasitic that's attached to it, which might cause the Titan Speakerman to get cured. I'm saying this because we don't see what happens to the Titan Speakerman after this. I might be totally wrong, but since this episode is going to be 2 parts, I'm sure that something will be revealed in the next episode. Now let's talk about if the Plunger Cameraman died or not. His bravery exceeds literally every single entity in the series. What he has shown us through the series is that he never backs down and he will do anything to save his people. I really don't think that he died, and this might actually be better for him because, as you remember in episode 48, we thought that the scientist Cameraman died at the end after being cut by the buzzsaw Skibidi toilet. But in episode 54, he came back with a mech suit. And we all know that these 2 cameramen are very good buddies, and they were fighting alongside each other in episode 48. I really don't see a world where the mech scientist Cameraman doesn't save his best friend, the Plunger Cameraman. We might not see the Plunger Cameraman for a while, but he'll most likely come back stronger than before with a new improved body or even a mech suit that fits his fighting style. With his bravery, no one can stop him. He might actually get to a point where he can fight against the Titans if he is upgraded properly. I think this series is just starting to ramp up and crazy stuff are waiting for us. Imagine if the scientist Cameraman uses the technology that the glitch Skibidi toilet uses to go fast and makes a new body for the Plunger Cameraman because they didn't kill the glitch Skibidi toilet to study it. This would really create an unstoppable monster for the Alliance. Also, in the next part of the coming episode, we might see the comeback of the upgraded Titan Cameraman because the TV man left the scene in episode 56 very mad at the cameraman, and they might take matters into their own hands. I hope the new part of episode 57 comes out really soon. If there are any leaks on it, I'll make videos about it as well. If you caught any secrets that I didn't mention, let me know in the comments. And I would really appreciate it if you liked the video and subscribed. Episode 57 Part 2 was just released, and it was the craziest and the longest episode so far. We finally got to see almost all our favorite characters in one episode. I'll talk about everything, including the comeback of TV Woman, what happened to Plunger Cameraman, where the Titan Speakerman went after being saved, our beloved Simp Cameraman not being saved, how badly G-Man was hurt. I'll cover all these secrets and Easter eggs in episode 57 Part 2 that you might have missed or didn't notice. Watch the video until the end so that you don't miss anything interesting. Also, make sure to like and subscribe. Anyways, here we go. We start the episode with the ending of the episode 57 Part 1's ending and seeing the Plunger Cameraman getting thrown by Titan Speakerman. And this is the first time a new Skibidi toilet video just continues from the ending point of the old video, but this is a special case since it's a part 2 of the same episode. After that, the camera pans to the right and we see the Titan Cameraman and G-Man fighting a fierce battle. G-Man instantly starts blasting his lasers on the Titan Cameraman's core, which used to have the protection layer on in the first part, but it opens up while he starts flying so that he can use the core flames. We also finally get to see the Titan Cameraman use his hammer again after he stopped using it between episodes 54 and 55. But before this, he uses his core flames against G-Man, but it seems to not do that much damage against him other than burning his face, as we can see later in the video. After this, Titan Cameraman swings the hammer with full power, smacking G-Man, making him explode. But later in the episode, we see that he is not dead yet, but I'll get into that later in the video. He also leaves his hammer down there, and after G-Man's explosion, Titan Cameraman most likely sees Plunger Cameraman on the ground looking dead, so he flies full speed onto Titan Speakerman, causing a huge impact on Titan Speakerman. This was honestly crazy seeing Titan Cameraman this mad. We can safely assume that he actually cared about Plunger Cameraman. We also see the cameraman on the roof almost falling down from the roof with the huge impact the Titan Cameraman caused. It seems like Titan Cameraman's anger is working in his favor this episode because he was actually unstoppable. And what happened after was even crazier, if you ask me. We see the Titan Cameraman dropping Titan Speakerman on the floor and walking towards him to most likely try and remove the parasite to finally cure Titan Speakerman. But the weird blade strider that appeared on episode 47 in the background appears. And once the Titan Cameraman turns around, he gets stabbed. But because of all of his upgrades, this doesn't really hurt him, and he looks chill and doesn't even care about the blades. Titan Cameraman removes the mask from the blade strider Skibidi toilet and smashes his head with his two hands collapsing as if this is his special move. Seeing how mad Titan Cameraman was in this episode was crazy, and we saw yet again that he has zero mercy against the Skibidi toilets, and he doesn't have a limit on how crazy he can be. Titan Cameraman also smashes the blade strider Skibidi toilet's hands, but the blades get stuck on his body. I'm assuming that these really don't do much damage to him, considering it doesn't really affect him rest of the episode. After this, we also see a parasite flying towards Titan Cameraman's head, and it actually lands on it. But Titan Cameraman is very fast to react, and he takes it off and kills the parasite easily without losing his composure. This might mean that he is parasite-proof, and it'd be impossible to infect him with all his new upgrades. But I'm not sure about this yet. But while Titan Cameraman is distracted because of the parasite, Titan Speakerman was charging his blasters and he shoots them, causing the Titan Cameraman to almost fall down. Titan Speakerman doesn't stop and keeps on charging his blasters, but right before he shoots the blaster, TV Woman teleports on top of Titan Speakerman, and she appears for the first time after episode 54. With everything going on, this really does make sense, since the TV man in episode 56 looked like they wanted to take matters into their own hands. He probably teleported next to TV Woman and mentioned the situation to her, causing her to join the battle. TV Woman also jumps on Titan Speakerman's neck, most likely trying to get rid of the parasite, but we don't get to see this other than Titan Speakerman acting weird and trying to take her off his neck. It also looked like what she was doing was working. We see the Titan Cameraman hold Titan Speakerman's hands so that he can't do anything about TV Woman, but after this, we see G-Man come back from the explosion in the beginning all hurt, and it seems like he lost one pair of his lasers. His face is basically burned and bloody at this point. We've never seen him get damaged as much as this time, and it looks like he is really mad. Right when he is about to shoot Titan Cameraman from the back, he gets distracted by the comeback of Camera Woman and her shooting him from the roof constantly with the other cameramen using their stun guns on him. He also sees that the Titan Speakerman is about to be cured, so he decides to retreat and takes off with a very angry face. Before we get to what happens to Plunger Cameraman and the TV Woman, you need to understand that with this episode, Skibidi toilets have taken a huge blow. After this point, unless they get a new ally or find a way to get upgraded faster and better, they might keep taking L's for a while. But if you ask me, this battle will be an eye-opener for G-Man, and he'll most likely ask for some insane upgrades which will most likely get him to new, crazier power levels we haven't seen before. After the fight ends, we see the Camera Woman jumps off from Titan Speakerman to save the Plunger Cameraman. But sadly, we see our beloved simp cameraman on the right under the rubble trying to get TV Woman's attention. This time it's not even in a weird way. And he just wants to be saved, but she chooses the Plunger Cameraman over him, not even noticing him. We see him give up hope right after this, with also his body being cut in half. I don't know about him, but if this was me, damn, I don't even know what I would do. We already saw him really mad in episode 56 because TV Woman didn't hug him back. This was one of the saddest moments in the history of Skibidi Toilet. Simp Cameraman is most likely going to become a menace going forward if he can stay alive. Also, with so many people being cut in half, I do think that a lot of new upgrades are on the way because there is no way they'll leave them be and put them in a wheelchair. Some big upgrades are definitely coming to the cameramen, and I really do wonder what the Skibidi Toilets are going to do about this. They have to recover really fast after losing this battle. After TV Woman leaves, we see the Titan Speakerman finally getting cured, with Titan Cameraman finally removing the parasite completely and crushing it with his feet, causing Titan Speakerman's core to go back to its original color. It looks like Titan Speakerman doesn't remember anything and seems like he doesn't even know where he is. We see him look around confused and mad, and he decides to just fly away without even having any interactions with the Titan Cameraman. I don't know where he went, but my guess is that he went back to the Speakermen base, but nothing good would be waiting for him there since we all know that Speakermen have been going extinct slowly but surely. Also, Alliance members might be scared of him and actually be biased when it comes to him because of all the things he did while he was infected. At the end of the episode, we also see the Titan Cameraman get back to a normal mood with him giving a thumbs up after all those episodes of him being mad. But this guy really does not care about the blades stuck on his body, I guess. This episode was honestly crazy, and it was one of the best episodes so far from all aspects. We really did see almost everyone appear and help the fight and had a huge win against the Skibidi Toilets. As you know, episode 58 is the first episode we see Titan Speakerman not being infected after such a long time. And as the description of the video states, this is the first time we are seeing him using his full power, so we'll look into everything, including the upgraded Titan Speakerman's full power, what the secret agent is up to, and what the green glow could mean. Why do we keep going around the world and how the war is progressing and so on? If you don't want to miss any of these secrets, make sure to watch until the end. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. The episode starts with cameramen trying to defend themselves against the Skibidi Toilets while hanging from a pole, and we can see a sign that says the London Mall. It looks like the situation in London is very bad, even though it's not as bad as New York from what we saw in episodes 49 and 51. But it looks like the air is so polluted at this point, and dirty fogs and dust covered the whole place, but I'll get to that later in the video. After the cameramen on the pole, we see a cameraman being dragged by a Skibidi toilet to be killed. And seconds after, we see a new Skibidi toilet that looks a little weird, who is filled with tools to kill the Alliance members, and after killing a cameraman that was trying to escape, this new Skibidi toilets turns to us. This Skibidi toilet reminds me of two different Skibidi toilets to me. The first one being the Skibidi toilet that removed Cinema Man's upgrades in episode 47. As you know, the flying Skibidi toilet with the buzzsaw hands in episode 47 looked like it was being mind-controlled. If you look at his head, there is clearly a mechanism that looks like an antenna to be controlled remotely. And just like the Skibidi in episode 47, this Skibidi toilet doesn't say Skibidi as well, and his mouth is mostly stuck in the same position all the time, which reminds me of the scientist Skibidi Toilet's smile in episode 32. My theory is that scientist Skibidi Toilet is creating these Skibidi toilets that can be mind-controlled to fight in the battle with his high IQ and tactics, because when this flying buzzsaw Skibidi toilet was coming towards us, he felt something or heard and understood what's coming. His expression changed in an instant and he decided to head back. Since his eyes are closed off, my guess is that the weird tube-looking thing might be a camera, allowing the mind controller to see what's happening. But that's just a guess, since when we look at it up close, it doesn't look like a camera, or it might be that he is not being mind-controlled, and since he has lost his eyesight, his hearing abilities have evolved to a point where he can see like Daredevil, and he acts according to sound, since he was the first one to react to the Titan Speakerman's sounds from far away. There is a likely chance that this is true. Literally 1 second after the buzzsaw Skibidi toilet leaves, the Titan Speakerman comes kicking in really fast. It appears that his agility has risen and he is so much faster compared to his old and infected self. Maybe when he was infected he was being controlled by someone else, which was causing delays in his movements, or since his mind was being forced to do something else, it was causing him to slow down and not be able to go to his full power, which would explain why Titan Cameraman was winning the battle in episode 57 part 1 and 2 so easily. Or it's just that he is so mad about what happened in the last 25 or so episodes, and him being on the enemy side for a long while causing him to go and fight with max power. After Titan Speakerman shoots down one more Skibidi toilet, he flies up and we see the Big Ben from London, and there is a turret on top of it. If Skibidi toilets have already put weapons in buildings, it clearly means that this city has been conquered long time ago. And Cameraman and Speakerman laying dead on the ground that we saw in the beginning of the video probably were there on a mission to take the city back. Also, we get to see how the sky looks, and it looks like this place is so polluted to a point where the sky has parts that literally look green. If you look at a photo of the real London, this is not the case. I don't know what type of experiments or stuff the Skibidi toilets are doing in this place, but it looks like unless the Alliance takes back London fast, it'll most likely be gone for good. After this scene, when Titan Speakerman rams onto a large Skibidi toilet, the camera pans towards the cameraman on the pole, and we can see the secret agent on top of the roof watching the scene. He also has his green glow again, which he had in episode 57 part 1. This green glow could mean many things, but first, have you noticed that he wasn't there in the beginning? This might mean that the glow appears whenever he teleports if he just got there. Even though this does seem likely, why is the POV cameraman not reacting to this glow? Usually the secret agent is hidden well or at place where you can hardly see, but it seems like it's different this episode, and we can see him very clearly. This was also the case in episode 57 part 1, where he also had the glow. This does give me the impression that the green glow might be a way to seem invisible to the cameraman or any entity other than the viewer, which is us. I'm not really sure about this, but if that's not the case, only other explanation is that the cameramen know of the existence of the secret agent and he might be on their side. Because if they can see him, they've seen him many times in past episodes and they weren't bothered by him. This green glow and him being out in the open does open up a lot of questions about the topic, but we'll most likely slowly get to know him more and more as the series continues since he started appearing, everyone. 2 episodes. What do you think his powers are? And what is the green glow for? Let me know in the comments. After this, we see the buzzsaw Skibidi coming from the back to attack the Titan Speakerman. And it does look like the Skibidi toilet was trying to infect the Titan Speakerman again because he was going exactly for his neck, and he has claws that are almost the same as the parasite toilets, which in the beginning of the episode when he was killing the escaping cameraman made an electric effect when he stabbed the cameraman. This effect usually only appears whenever someone gets infected, and this could mean that this specialized buzzsaw Skibidi toilet could be a machine both for fighting and infecting Titans. But before the buzzsaw Skibidi toilet can do anything, the Titan Speakerman catches him just like how the Titan Cameraman caught the parasite Skibidi in episode 57 part 2, and Titan Speakerman kills the buzzsaw Skibidi. It looks like Titan's reaction speeds and reflexes have been improved a lot, and the more they fight, the better they get at fighting. But it's right after this scene where we really do get to see Titan Speakerman's real powers. We see a fleet of helicopter Skibidi toilets coming in, and they shoot all of their rockets at the Titan Speakerman, who is looking unfazed, tanking all the explosions without a single scratch, and he flies up and starts doing a tornado laser attack, killing all the helicopter Skibidi toilets in a few seconds. This goes to show you how overpowered he has become, and right after clearing up the whole scene, he instantly flies away, most likely going to another battle to help out with the mess he has created. Since it looks like the whole world has been dominated by the Skibidi toilets, it's going to take a long time to clear up everything. We saw New York getting cleaned up mostly in episodes 51 and 52, and Dubai probably got cleaned up after episode 57, even though the city is completely trashed. I wonder which city we are going to see next. And right after the Titan Speakerman leaves, we see Titan Cameraman catching up, but he is confused about what happened since all the Skibidi toilets are dead and the battle has ended in the city. He decides to continue following the Titan Speakerman, and that's when we see the secret agent again, but this time we see him right when he's turning back, probably about to teleport somewhere else. But as he goes back and leaves the camera, his green glow starts disappearing, which begs the question: why? And what exactly is the green glow? And how does it work? Hopefully we get to see more of Secret Agent's abilities in the coming episodes. Right after this moment, we see a goofy "ah" moment happening where the cameramen are giving thumbs up on the pole and the middle one pushing the cameraman under him downwards without a care. Hopefully you enjoyed this analysis episode. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe, and if you want updates about Skibidi Toilet and my channel, make sure to join the Discord. Episode 59 was released yesterday and it was filled with action. The Speakermen finally came back. We saw the secret agent again, but without the green glow this time. We saw the Skibidi Toilets teleport again, just like the Skull Toilet in episode 55, and a lot more. I'll cover all these secrets and Easter eggs in episode 59 that you might have missed or didn't notice. Watch the video until the end so that you don't miss anything interesting. Also, thanks for 200,000 subscribers, and if you haven't, make sure to like and subscribe if you don't want to miss the new videos. Anyways, here we go. We start the episode seeing a battlefield where both sides seem to be losing and no one has the upper hand. This place is most likely still in London or in the UK like the last episode. As you can see, there are both cameramen and Skibidi toilet bodies around this place lying dead on the ground. I don't know how long the war has been going on in this place, but it seems like both sides have been struggling and no support for neither side has reached the place yet, but as you know, this is about to change. After we start running towards the Skibidi in front of us, we jump on its back to save the cameraman and flush the Skibidi toilet. Also, this scene was leaked by Arming, one of the owners of Dafukboom's Discord server earlier yesterday. I also do have my own Discord server where you can chat with other Skibidi enjoyers, join giveaways, and get updates on the series. So if you are interested, make sure to join with the link in the description. Afterwards, we see the Skibidi toilet reacting to the cameraman getting on top of the Skibidi toilet. It seems like even though they can't do much about it, their reflexes seems to have improved over the course of the war. And as you can see, this Skibidi toilet literally has no upgrades and doesn't even have a gray toilet. It's been a while from my recollection since we have seen one of these toilets. I might be wrong about this, but it might be that the cameraman and the toilets here have been fighting for a long time. When you think about it, the cameraman here doesn't have stun guns too, so they should have been dispatched at least before episode 53. This begs the question, why was there no support for this place all this time? Anyways, in the first scene we also get to see the secret agent again, but this time he doesn't have his green glow like the last two times. Even though I'm not sure, I feel like this kind of confirms my theory about the green glow. As you can see clearly, he is hiding behind a car in this episode, and he is not just out in the open. In my last video, I mentioned that the green glow might be something that makes him invisible to the cameraman's sight, even though we can still see it while watching. I'm still not sure about this, but he was out in the open in episodes 57 and 58, and we saw the green glow, and whenever he is behind something which is harder to see, he doesn't have the green glow. I might be totally wrong about this, since I do think that the green glow might have a bigger meaning we won't know until more is revealed to us. We better see the secret agent take action soon. He literally has been appearing in almost every episode and has been watching over the battle in literally every continent. Also, right after we save the cameraman from the Skibidi toilet, if we look back at the car, the secret agent is nowhere to be seen. He may have guessed what was about to happen and left the place or went to a rooftop where he can watch the battle better. This also gives me a new idea. What if one of the powers the secret agent possesses is foresight? Maybe he can see slightly into the future or guess what's going to happen and act accordingly. I'll most likely talk about my theories like this on the secret agent later in a special video dedicated to the secret agent later, so if you don't want to miss that, make sure to subscribe. After this, the cameraman that we saved gives us a thumbs up, but the second he gives his thumbs up, we are shaken by a huge explosion and sounds. The second we turn to our right, we can clearly see that it's a new giant Skibidi toilet, but something is strange because there was no one there before, and it's kinda hard for a Skibidi toilet that large to come there unnoticed, and we can see the black smoke, which we normally see whenever the TV race teleports. These Skibidi toilets literally appear out of thin air, just like the Skull Skibidi toilet in episode 55. The real question here is, did they replicate the TV man tech, or is there a traitor in the TV race? If there actually is a traitor among the TV race, I don't think they'll take that lightly. The TV man, as you know, can get angry very fast, and they don't seem like the type that forgives people. As the black smoke disappears, we can see the new Skibidi toilet filled with tools. It seems like has knockoff versions of G-Man's Skibidi toilet's laser guns. He also has 2 claws under them, probably for protecting himself up close. Also different from other Skibidi toilet, he has tank wheels under him. I have no idea why, since Skibidi toilet can move freely normally. Maybe it is to make him move faster, but I don't know. It seems like this Skibidi toilet is supposed to resemble a tank because he also has a helmet and some rockets behind him. We also see 2 helicopter Skibidi toilets next to him, but their happiness doesn't last long because the helicopter Skibidi toilets suddenly get shot, and when the camera pans to the left, we see the Titans flying together towards the battlefield. Titan Speakerman takes the lead and does some cool movements and kills the new tank Skibidi toilet pretty easily. With this, a new plain Skibidi toilet with red eyes comes into the battlefield, shooting the Titan Speakerman. But as we know by now, these attacks are useless against him. Titan Speakerman decides to take him on and flies on him, and after we see the Titan Speakerman stuffing the tank Skibidi toilet's guns inside his mouth, opening a huge hole and kicking him towards the building to make him explode. My guess is to why he did this would be that they don't want the Skibidi toilets salvaging the guns back and using them again. The most important stuff in this episode happens right after this point. Also note that this was the end of Season 19, because that'll be important later on. We see the Titan Speakerman looking so cool while riding the plane Skibidi toilet while coming down. He jumps down and gets a thumbs up from the Titan cameraman, probably meaning that he has done a good job and redeemed himself from his bad actions while he was infected. After this, we get one of the most awaited things happen, the comeback of Speakermen. We still don't know where they were or how many of them are still alive after all this time, but it seems like they were hiding all along, most likely to be safe from the infected Titan Speakermen. And without a commander like him, they most likely didn't know what to do. We see a lot of Speakermen come to the scene, and after that we see the Titans dabbing with a bang to celebrate. This was honestly a great way to end one of the best seasons so far, but things are probably about to get more complicated. Lately, the Alliance have been coming on top all the time, and Skibidi toilets have been trying hard, but they keep losing almost every season. They lost New York, they lost Dubai, and now London has been recaptured. It seems like the Alliance is on a win streak. Literally every powerful entity has been killed or damaged. What do you think they are going to do? My guess is that we are about to see some crazy upgrades from the Skibidi toilet side. I really do think that the comeback of G-Man Skibidi toilet will be huge next time. He didn't seem like he was just mad in episode 57. It seemed like his murder intent was off the charts before he escaped. He was damaged and humiliated. There is no way he lets that slide. Either the next season or the season after that, I think the Skibidi toilets are going to start taking the lead again in some way. What do you think is going to happen in the next season? And we still have the case of the Plunger Cameraman, and we'll be waiting for him to come back. Hopefully we get to see him soon instead of waiting about 20 episodes or so. If you caught any secrets that I didn't mention, let me know in the comments, and I would really appreciate it if you liked the video and subscribed.